Hey, what's going on, guys? Ben, aka Sauce here, and today I'm bringing you guys another video. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, I'll be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, my team, and what I think is going to happen with Giannis. Well, not really what I think, because I don't know. Seems like no one knows. But the general consensus is that he will be moved in the next day before the draft, which is Tuesday night. I'm making this Monday morning, about 8 a.m. So that's about a day and a half until the draft, and everybody's saying that Giannis is going to be traded by draft night. Everybody's saying the Bucks are gearing up to have multiple first-round picks in the 2026 NBA draft, multiple lottery picks, and everybody's like, the Miami Heat have pick number 13, which is obviously a lottery pick. So everybody's like, the Bucks are gearing up to use this Heat first-round pick, which means they have to make this trade before tomorrow night. And here I am to kind of dissect the different trade suitors the Bucks have been linked to talking with, and looking at the players we would get in return and kind of gauging who would I want more, and trying to convince you who should you want more between every pool, all the pools of players that are linked to us. So obviously we're not like, I don't know, I was going to say, obviously we're not going to get Wemby or anything like that, but I'm not even, y'all know who is in the realm of possibility with the Bucks. So let's just start at the top. The best name that has been linked to us has been Jaylen Brown. I'll just start there, and this would be obviously with the Celtics trade. I've seen a lot of rumors, seen a lot of mock trades with Jaylen Brown being rerouted to a different team like the Pistons, the Hawks, or even Portland Trailblazers. And I've also seen reports saying that Jaylen Brown would be unwilling to play for the Milwaukee Bucks if he were to be traded here, which I guess I could see, because like LeBron said, no one wants to play in Milwaukee. No one wants to go to Milwaukee. And Jaylen Brown, he also, I mean, he's pretty vocal. I don't know if you saw, but he has his own stream. He like streams games or whatever. And that's when he went on right after he got eliminated by the 76ers. And he was like, this year has been my favorite season. And obviously it's a season where Jason Tatum was down with an Achilles injury for the vast majority of the year. So basically he's saying, my favorite season is when I was the lead guy and I wasn't having to play second fiddle to a top 7 player in the league. So, I mean, in a way, I feel like, yeah, he probably doesn't want to live in Milwaukee and play for a team that just started a rebuild. But also, he literally stated that him being a 1A on, well, not 1A as in he's that good, but he was definitely the clear best option, and he finished top 5 in MVP voting this season. And he said this was his favorite season. He would obviously have that in Milwaukee, which is why I think he should have at least a little bit of want to come to Milwaukee. But that's that. Next point I want to make about Jaylen Brown is the compensation, because I've seen like Giannis for Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks. You know, obviously saying Jaylen Brown is that much of an asset that you would only need to throw on like 2 more first-round picks. It'd also be Boston's like 27th pick this year's draft, and then like another one in 2 years. But they're gonna have they're gonna have Tatum and Giannis, so obviously it's gonna be an awful pick. So I don't know. I don't know if I would want just Jaylen Brown basically and some shitty picks for Giannis, because thinking about like this, I would think Jaylen Brown is a lot younger than he actually is. Giannis is 31 and Jaylen Brown is 29. So we're only getting 2 years younger for a player that's so much worse than Giannis is. So I don't really like that. I would like him to be rerouted. So here's another mock trade I've seen. It's Jaylen Brown. It's Giannis to Celtics. Jaylen Brown goes to the Portland Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers give the Bucks back their draft picks that Portland got in the Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard trade. So the Bucks would get back their 2028 first-round pick. They would swap back their 2029. And, yeah, the Bucks would control their own destiny in a few years from now. So that would be the appeal of that. Jaylen Brown goes to the Trailblazers. Also see him go to, like, the Pistons or the Hawks, like I mentioned before. But that's basically that. That would be the main appeal, but I don't really want Scoot Henderson or Shaden Sharp from the Trailblazers. Neither would I want Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant is old. He's not like a valuable asset, and I don't think Scoot or Shaden Sharp is that good, in my opinion. Donovan Klingen's good. I like Tumani Kamara, but Scoot and Shaden Sharp I can't get behind. And that is that. And that's about everything with Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown going to the Hawks is another thing, and then we would be getting like Dyson Daniels, Zachary Richase, and maybe Okeko Kongwu, especially after they got Aaron Wiggins, the Hawks did yesterday. I guess that is a little feasible. But I don't know. As much as I do like Dyson Daniels, I've been a Dyson Daniels guy, his offense just isn't there. And I don't know how valuable he would really, really be. And so that is that with that. Also in that Portland getting Jaylen Brown trade, I've seen it be like we get our own first round picks, then we get like Scoot, Shaden, like I said, and then we get Hugo Gonzalez from the freaking Celtics, who's like off the bench spark plug, but he only plays like 10 minutes a game because, I don't know, that's just how good he is. He's not that good. So next, I'll talk about the Timberwolves, which is like the other team that just like came into the talks over the past couple days. And so this is consistent of us getting Rudy Gobert, he being rerouted to another team. We do keep, or we get, Jaden McDaniels. He doesn't get rerouted in this trade. And we get like Dante DiVincenzo back on the team, and we get their first round picks that they have, Terrence Shannon Jr. And that's basically the trade, which I do love me some Jaden McDaniels, and I do like the appeal of Terrence Shannon Jr. But they don't really have any good draft picks because they spend it all on Rudy Gobert. And I don't want Rudy Gobert, obviously, because he's an old defensive center who is not going to help us in our rebuild at all. We would also have to trade him away if we did acquire him and he wasn't rerouted immediately. And so that's that with the Trailblazers. I don't know. I mean, not the Trailblazers, the Timberwolves. I don't know if I really like that. I do like Jaden McDaniels and Terrence Shannon Jr., but we do need some draft compensation, some valuable draft compensation if getting rid of Giannis. Another thing I've seen is like the Jazz getting Jaylen Brown and we get their number 2 overall pick, which I just don't think is going to happen. I would love it. I think, honestly, and let me know down in the comments what you think. If the Washington Wizards offered their first overall pick in this year's draft that they have, and I don't know, some salary filler, which I don't know who that would be, because it's not going to be Anthony Davis or Trae Young, because they'd probably want to keep them and they wouldn't throw them in a salary filler. But, just mid guys that make a lot of money, and the first overall pick for Giannis. Basically, we get AJ DeBanza. Would I do that? I might do that just because obviously this is going to be one of the 20 most valuable players in the NBA, AJ DeBanza will, as soon as he gets drafted, just because of how young he is and how highly touted he is. I think I might do that, but let me know, guys. And then I've also seen the Clippers getting this guy named Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, rerouting to the Celtics. We get the 5th overall pick. That was the Pacers that went to the Clippers in the Zubac trade. And then the Clippers would be giving us our 5th overall pick, and they get Jaylen Brown. But they're also giving up Darius Garland. And Darius Garland comes to us, I think. Or maybe there's a 4th team in here. I don't really know. But I've also seen that, which the 5th overall pick sounds pretty good. Obviously, you want top 4, because if you don't know anything about this year's NBA draft that's coming up tomorrow, you got AJ DeBanza, you got Caleb Wilson, Darren Peterson, and Cam Boozer, and that's the consensus top 4. And then after that, there's like a drop. So you would want a top 4 pick, but number 5 isn't that at all. So that's also that. And let's get into the most obvious trade possibility, the most likely, it sounds like, with the Miami Heat, right? So the Bucks and the Heat apparently have had talks for years now. That's what everybody says. And I would hate him to go to the Heat because I hate the Heat, because if you're a Bucks fan or a Heat fan, you know that we've had many rivalries in the past, playing each other in the playoffs almost every season. We beat the Heat en route to a championship like 5 years ago, and then the Heat had beat us like 2 years right after that, getting knocked down the first round when they were the 8th seed, and they beat us as the 1 seed and then went on to the NBA Finals to lose to the Nuggets, all this. And I would hate to see Giannis go to the Heat, because as I don't know if you know, but on Twitter, all Heat fan talk about is putting players in a jersey swap into a Miami Heat jersey. I mean, they do it with literally Giannis, LeBron, every single player ever. So I would hate to actually see the Heat end up getting Giannis, but their package would be Tyler Hero either going to the Bucks or being rerouted somewhere else, like the Pistons or whatever. I'll get into that. And then we would get Jaime Jaquez. We'd get Ron Hall. Nope. Not Ron Hall. That would be in a Tyler Hero. Anyways, we'd get Kalan Ware. We'd get Jaime Jaquez. We could maybe get Nikola Jovic. We could maybe get Kasparis Yakachonis. We could, I don't know, get somebody else. And their number 13th pick in this year's draft, like I mentioned at the top of the video, and then their future first-round picks. And I don't know how much that would be, because another conflicting report is saying the Bucks want the whole farm for a Giannis trade, and that, quote, it's not their problem if the team that gets Giannis is left in despair because they had to give away all their assets for Giannis, which, I mean, it's true. I mean, Giannis is a top 3 player in the world, top 5 player in the world, and he's still in his late prime at 31 years old. And, I mean, it's crazy for teams to be like, I don't know why they want us to, like, give up all of our valuable assets for Giannis. Like, he isn't a top 5 player still in his prime. Like, it's just insane. And then Heat fans on Twitter trying to cope and being like, this injury-prone guy, this guy that's going to walk in free agency next offseason, I don't know why they want to take everything from us. They have zero leverage. They're just so stupid. Their front office is so stupid. But I think it's super smart, obviously. I mean, you only get to trade Giannis once. I mean, that's like literally having a shopping spree. You have like $100 gift card to Target, and you're like, I only have $100. I want this, and this. But let's take it back a notch and think about what would be the best thing to spend it on, because you can only trade Giannis once. Once you trade Giannis, it's over. And this has a huge impact on the next 10 years after Giannis is gone. You don't want to trade him away when his value is at like 70% of what it could be. So I think it's smart by the Bucks front office to hold out, possibly through this draft, possibly through the rest of this offseason, possibly to the trade deadline. And then once we get to the end of the season, once we get to the end of this offseason and at the beginning of the regular season, the Bucks can offer Giannis a 4-year Supermax extension. And then obviously at the trade deadline, he could still sign that, or you can trade him. And then he has a player option next offseason, so Giannis could leave, I don't know, was it like $70 million on the table and become an unrestricted free agent and dip for nothing, which is what people are saying could happen. But I don't know. People are also saying they don't see Giannis doing that to the Bucks that have been with him for so long. Giannis leaves for nothing, gives them nothing in return for him. His departure, which I don't know. I mean, Giannis, if he really wants to maximize his chances of winning championship, he would stay this season and next season leave for nothing and join a team where they don't have to give up any assets to acquire him. Obviously, if a team trades for Giannis, like I've been saying, they'd have to give up a lot of what they have already on their roster construction and with draft capital. So, anyways, Miami Heat, like I was saying, either Tyler Hero to the Bucks or Tyler Hero to like the Pistons have been the two destinations I've seen for Tyler Hero. And Tyler Hero, he I don't know. He's 26 years old. He's not bad, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess Tyler Hero would be cool, but it's kind of just like, meh. That's how I look at it. He's kind of meh as the best player. I would almost rather him get rerouted to the Pistons so we get somebody like Ron Holland, who was the number 5 pick in the 2024 NBA draft. He's been off the bench for the Pistons the past 2 seasons, but he's only missed 5 total games through those 2 years, and he has a ton of upside. He's 20 years old. I would love us to get Kalon Ware, who's also 20 years old, from the Heat. And Jaime Jaquez was a 6th Man of the Year finalist. He's 25 years old. And again, Tyler Hero's 26 years old. So I don't know. I mean, they're still both young, but not young enough for us to have them as a building piece for the next 5-10 years. So I don't know. And then also, I've seen stuff in a Giannis trade where we're also giving up Miles Turner, where we're also giving up Bobby Portis in the trade. We're also giving up Kyle Kuzma, which I would be fine with. I mean, I don't think we need any of those 3 players if we do get rid of Giannis. I mean, Miles Turner, what a bad signing. As much as I try to root for the guy, he's just not living up to it. He basically makes $50 million a year because we had to cut Dame and take on $20 million a year for dead money because we stretched his contract and then gave Miles Turner $30 million a year. So that comes out to $50 million for the next 5 years that Miles Turner plus Dame dead money is making. So he's basically making $50 million a year, and he's not even worth $30 million, which he's truly making. So that's tough. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Heat number 13th pick, that'd be cool as a building block. I mean, our team, if we did the Heat trade, since this is the most likely trade, I'll go through it. We'd have at the 1, Ryan Rollins. Then we'd have Ron Holland. We'd have Jaime Jaquez. We'd have Kalon Ware. And then, I don't know, we'd need a center. Maybe if we keep Miles Turner, we'll have Miles Turner. And then we can flip him or something. Yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. Oh, yeah. Nope, sorry. We still have the 10th overall pick. The Bucks have the 10th overall pick no matter what. So we could draft a big man or a wing or a guard or whatever we need to fill out the starting 5. And that's a very, very good young team. I think the 5 I just mentioned, if we do if we draft a starter instead of starting Miles Turner, I think everybody that I just listed would be like under 22 years old, which is amazing. However old Ryan Rollins is, 23, I think. Everybody would be under 23 besides him, who would be 23. So that's an amazing start to rebuild. And we'd also have draft capital, I would surely hope, from the trade. So the Bucks aren't screwed. And I just hope he doesn't go to the Heat, because I don't really want to root for the Heat. I'm definitely going to root for wherever Giannis goes, and then obviously root for a good Bucks rebuild. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Let me know where you guys are at. By the time I upload this, he could be traded already. That'd be pretty funny. Hopefully it's not to the Heat. Hopefully it's not for Tyler Hero. Hopefully we at least get Jaime Jaquez and Kalon Ware in the trade. If we don't get both, if we get some stupid compare Shaka Jonas and Jovic and stupid, not good young assets that aren't good, I'm going to freaking be mad. Because you only get one chance at a $100 Target gift card. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like this video if you got